What up, people? This is Parlay with us, man. It's me here, Mr. Beans and Stony Cook. We're bringing it to you guys live, man. This is a Final Four live pregame show with the Parlay with us team. Um, Hustle Stacks and Sean Doe couldn't make it with us here today, but we'll give them a pass for that. We'll throw them a pass, Stony. Don't don't
Yeah,
don't
they
beat
they
them up.
got
We'll
they
throw
got
them a
the
pass
Easter
for that.
egg hangover.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There were too many eggs on too many Easter eggs, man. They hung over a little bit. So, yeah, we'll give them a pass.
Yeah. They a little hungover, so we got to understand that a little bit. So yeah, with that being said, man, it is Parlay with us. We're bringing it to you guys, man, on a Saturday afternoon special edition show. You don't even see us on here on a Saturday afternoon, but we here on a
Different,
Saturday afternoon
different.
for a special edition show, Final Four edition. We about to it's about to go down, man. The game's about to start within the next hour. First game up on the slate is the Wolf Pack against the Boilermakers. That is NC State, right?
Yep, NC State
NC State
versus
Wolf Pack
Purdue.
against the Purdue Boilermakers is going to be a hot one. So yeah, Stony, what's going on? Hold on, before we do that, Stony, I keep forgetting.
Come on, you already know.
Yeah, God, to make moves. Doobie don't snooze. It's on your back, cause they hate you. Dog break through, son get through. But don't break.
Move.
Yeah. Once again, man, we love that. We love that intro, man. It is me, man, Mr. Beans here,
Definitely, man. It's
Stony
us
Cook,
all the
man.
way.
The team Parlay with us, bringing you guys a special edition of the Final Four. We got 4 teams left over. We got NC State and the Purdue Boilermakers. First game coming up around 6 o'clock, 10 past 6. Then we
Right.
got the second game around 9:30, which will be the big game of the night. I think it will be UConn against Alabama. Alabama is trying to pull an upset, but I don't know, man, the way UConn
That's gonna
play.
be
But we'll
tough.
get into that. But right now, we'll start it off with the first game on the slate. And the
Definitely.
first game on slate is the Wolfpack against the Boilermakers. So, Stoney, take it.
Yeah, so first and foremost, man, it's good to be here on a Saturday afternoon. It's a different
Life.
feel. Feels good though, but we had to come on here and give you guys, share some of our picks with you guys. What we like strongly, what I like strongly, and we wanted to kind of set you guys up to make some money, hopefully.
Yep.
So that being
Stoney got
said,
that money. He's gonna try to throw that gem out there so y'all make that money
no
back,
doubt,
man. So y'all get that money back going.
no doubt. And hey man, look, the dogs are barking, man. The dogs are barking loud, man. And I'm definitely gonna shake things up today, man. And man, let me tell you, man, I'm on the Wolf Pack today, man. I'm on the Wolf Pack plus 9.5. It's down to 9. You could buy that half a point. I'll buy that half a point. It ain't a big deal, it's not a
Okay.
big thing, I mean, you
So
could
you're
sit on
saying you'll
9 if
buy
you want.
that right now it's just not to cut you, but you're saying it's 9. It's 9 right now. So you're saying that you'll
Yeah,
buy
it's
that
9.
half point down to bring it down to 8.5?
No. To bring it up to 9.5 because
Oh, bring it
this is
up
the
to 9. Oh, you want to
yeah, because
buy up?
NC State's
Okay.
the underdog. Yeah, so
Okay.
what happens is it looked like the money was coming in on NC State, so it went
Okay.
down to 9.5. It went down to 9. It was 9.5 plus 9.5 NC State, and
Okay.
it looked like the money was coming on NC State, so it went down a half a point to 9.
All right.
So you can bring it up to 9.5. I would. Why not? You might as well you just never know. And the game may land on 9. They may lose by 9 and over a couple of free throws because the whole free throw scenario could
Right.
bring the game to 9, and that half a point could not kill you, but you just won't win no money. It'll be a push.
Right.
So, but the reason why I'm saying it's not a big deal with the half a point is because I'm also gonna sprinkle a little on the money line. I'm gonna bet on the upset.
Okay.
Right now
Okay.
on DraftKings, It's plus.
Shout out to DraftKings. Go
It's
ahead.
plus
That's what,
310.
plus
Yeah, plus
310.
310. So I'll
The
sprinkle a
upset
little bit
for
on that.
Alabama to win on the money line.
No, on NC State to win on
NC
the
State.
money
I'm
line.
sorry. My
Yeah,
fault. I'm
no, it's
moving
fine.
too far ahead.
Yeah,
I'm moving too far ahead.
for NC State to win on the money line plus 300. Let me tell you something. I like that money line bet because you see a team right now, they playing inspirational basketball. They playing good basketball right now. Their defense is good.
Mm-hmm.
They just have some magic going on right now. And you know, with this NCAA tournament, there's always that team that's Cinderella, and I don't think the clock has hit midnight yet on this team. I think this team, they got their mojo, they got a good momentum going.
Okay. That's
To
a
beat
good
Purdue,
analogy.
it's gonna be
Not hitting midnight. Cinderella. Yeah.
it hasn't hit midnight yet.
Right.
But I think that this team I think they got enough. They could possibly win this game. I wouldn't doubt it. So what I would do with that, I'll put a little bit on the money line, get a little extra on that. But I'm strongly liking the 9.5. The 9 is fine too. The 9 is fine. I'll take the 9. But the money line is very interesting. Very interesting, man. That's a very interesting bet to make. But I love it. The odds is good, man. 310, 315. In some places, it's in the threes. It's plus 3 something. It could be plus 305, plus 310. I mean, it's a great money line sprinkle to make. And that's where I'm at tonight, man. I'm taking both those bets, man. I'm taking NC State with the points, and I'm also sprinkling on the money line. So I already went to the window with that bet.
Nice.
One key thing, DJ Burks, he just has to stay out of foul trouble. So he's just gonna have to try to keep Zach Edey out the paint. Because once Zach Edey's too deep down low, man, it's gonna be tough to stop that guy, man. That guy doesn't even have to jump, and he could just finger roll the ball into the hoop. So the key to the game is to keep Burks out of foul trouble and keep him on the court. And the other guys are gonna have to contribute. They're gonna have to shoot a high percentage. And they can do it. They can do it, man. They've been playing good ball, man. I think they could hang with these guys, definitely hang with these guys, and they could possibly win it. I wouldn't be surprised.
So let me throw this stat at you. So the Boilermakers record in the Big Ten play is 18-4. Their record is 15-0 against non-conference games, and they score 83.5 points and has outscored opponents by 14 points per game
in the regular season.
For the season.
Right.
So with that being said, can the Wolfpack keep up?
Yeah, they can. I think what it is like, the regular season and the tournament, they're like two different seasons. A lot of those stats doesn't always translate into what they do in the March Madness.
Okay.
Because of all the games they play so far, the magnitude of the game, the pressure, the free throw lines, making key shots. There's a lot of things that happen in March Madness that the regular season doesn't really like back up, because there's really no pressure in the regular season where you're playing this one game elimination and you got a lot of these young guys playing under pressure. Some guys play well under that pressure, some guys don't. But what's happening is these lower seeds, they got nothing to lose.
No,
so
I understand that. I'm kind of like loose. I'm kind of like with you on this, guys. I'm kind of with Stoney on this pick here because as far as the well, except for the sprinkle on the money line part, but as far as covering the spread,
that's heavy.
That's heavy.
Don't get me wrong, man, but you got to give it a try.
But right now, in the last 10 games, the Boilermakers are 9-1. They averaging 79.7 points a game, 40.3 rebounds. and 20 assists and 4.8 steals, almost 5 steals a game, and 3 blocks per game while shooting at 48, almost 49%. Their opponents are only averaging 68 points a game. So that
Right.
goes to show they play a good, pretty good, but a defense. But the Wolfpack is 9-1. They averaging 78.3 points a game, 36.7 rebounds, 14 assists, almost 7 steals, 5
Right.
blocks per game, and shooting 48, almost for 48% from the field. Their opponents is averaging 70 points per game on them.
Yep.
So, with that being said, those numbers are not too far off based on what you're saying, right? So it looks like it will be a little bit tighter than Purdue blowing out their average team, they seasonal record, blowing teams by an average of 14 points. It looks like it might be a little bit tighter than blowing NC. If they were to try to beat it, if they were to beat NC State, I don't think it will be over 14 points. So with that being said, I kind of like, based on these numbers I just said, I think you're right. The Wolfpack could probably cover that 9.5 point spread.
Yeah, I think they
As
can hang
far as
around.
that
I
is
mean,
concerned. As far as that's concerned.
yeah, Purdue, they giving it, they 97th in the league, giving up 69, about 70 points a game. But I just feel like this game is gonna come down to execution. Minimizing the turnovers. Burke staying out of foul trouble because they need him on the court. Keeping Zach Edey out that paint. Don't let
And
him
that's the
don't
big
let him
man.
position himself down
The
there.
big man from Purdue is Zach
The
Edey,
big man
right?
from Purdue, and he doesn't shoot the three, so you don't gotta worry about nothing on the outside, nothing in the perimeter. You just gotta
Okay.
worry about him getting too close to the hoop. Man, that's just what it is. Burks is gonna have to work on him prior to getting the ball, because if he
Right.
gets the ball down low, it's either gonna be 2 points or
And
it's gonna
Burks
be a
is the
foul.
big man. Burks is the big man, right?
Burks is the big guy, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think he's just gonna have to, just work on him before getting the ball. Before getting the ball, he's gonna have to work on him, kind of
Yeah.
wear him down, beat him up a little bit, and just try to limit his positioning, because when that guy, you gotta top. This guy cut the net down without even getting on the ladder, man. You like, this dude that's how tall this guy is. I mean, so I watched him, man. Every time he gets that ball down low, he's basically finger rolling that ball in the hoop. Like, it's like he's that accurate down there and that tall. He can score the basket. Some big men can't score the basket, even though that they that close. Some big men just can't score like Edey can. Edey look
Right.
like he's very familiar with being that close to the hoop.
He's good
So
around the rim.
great around the rim.
Right.
So Burks is gonna have to just keep him out of there as best
So
he
like
can and stay
they
out of
go
foul trouble.
So they go T chiming in. If you see that T's chiming in, he says NC State gonna have to spread him out and make the big man move. Literally, do not let
Definitely.
him stand in front of the hoop and roll
Exactly.
all day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. He's gonna have to move him around. He's gonna have to just, kind of like just wear
Thanks for
him
chiming
down.
in, T.
Make him
Thanks for
work.
chiming in.
Yeah, make him work. He's gonna have to make him work. Make the big man work. Where the big man is getting worn down. And NC State could do that. NC State's a team that they could wear you down. They wear you down. I mean, you getting those baskets, but man, they make you work for it. So that's the advantage NC State has. They wear their opponents down. And they have that defense intensity in this playoffs, man. I mean, in this tournament so far, they've been playing great,
I know the
And if you look-
Boilermakers I know they like a powerhouse team too. Like, they've been making noise just the way UConn has been making noise. But NC State is, like you said, that Cinderella team that the clock hasn't strike 12 for them right now. And that's a good analogy for that. But like, based on the numbers here, and I'm a numbers guy too. I like numbers when it comes to sports. I like analytics, as they call it. And based on the numbers, I think maybe NC State might make this a game. And even if they don't win, maybe your bet. Well, put it this way, guys. I haven't gone to the window yet. Hopefully, I can before the show's over. But I would say my best bet is I would take Stoney up on this one. I would take NC State to cover by 9.5. I say that could go down.
Yeah, to cover that number, to stay within that number, if not win,
Stay
but
within that
definitely
number.
definitely stay that number. And yo, look, they beat Duke twice. They beat Duke twice. They beat North Carolina. They beat a great Texas Tech team to start the tournament. They beat an Oakland team that had some good shooters, and they beat Marquette. Marquette was a very impressive win. You know, you're talking about a team that scores the basket. You know, a team that got a lot of scorers, man. Great coach, great team, man. They went and they handled them dudes, man, and they pretty much control the whole game.
Right.
And that Marquette win really has me confident in this pick, you know, because they could hang with the best of them. They could play with the best of them. And they got a great. That's the thing with this tournament. Sometimes you throw all those stats out the window. You just look at the team itself, man, playing some good ball, inspired basketball, and you know, you just see how they play down the stretch. So I think they have enough to hang with Purdue. You know, you know, Purdue's a great team. Don't get me wrong; they scored a basket too, man. Edie, Horn, they got some great scores.
I know it's
defense.
it's
gonna be a battle, but
NC State will. You know, I'm not saying they can't win, and I'm not saying they will win, because the way Purdue plays too, you know, that's they look like a well-oiled machine, like the way they talking about UConn right now. I'm gonna watch these two games tonight because they're gonna be very interesting, because both teams on the underdog side of things can pull an upset tonight. We don't know. I mean, this is the
I think NC State
magic
more
of
likely.
sports and basketball. Like, anything could go down, you know?
Yeah, anything could go down. I mean, you know, Purdue, you know, they beat Gonzaga. That was impressive. And they beat Tennessee. That was a good win. Yo, Tennessee, they had Purdue on their backs, man. Let me tell you. Tennessee had Purdue on their backs, man, for a long time. It just Tennessee just couldn't make free throws.
Right.
That's what it came down to. I mean, these guys, you know, they missed some key free throws, and you know, I feel like NC State, they're a better disciplined team than that, and they know how to play down the stretch. Look, I just feel I feel good about NC State. You know, I think that they're a great story. I think they have something. They got it. They got that it. They remind me of San Diego State last year, so to speak. You know, San Diego State, who thought they would make it to the finals. And I think they're like this year's San Diego State. They this year's San Diego State in terms of just Cinderella, playing with a good you know, good momentum. Everything is working. You know, they have that intensity, the confidence, playing loose, because that's the key with playing in these tournaments, playing loose, man. Because let me tell you, man, we say it over and over again, Beans. We talk about this free throw shooting, man.
Yeah.
Free throw shooting is
especially
huge.
at those crunch time of the game. It's huge.
Huge, man. Especially those the one-on-one, the one that, you know, the one-on-one free throws. You missed that one, that's it, you know.
Yeah.
But if you can make that one, you got that second free throw, especially those.
Yeah.
So
yo, look, well, thanks, Coach Stacks, for chiming in. He says the role players has been playing out of their minds for Purdue the whole tournament. Those guys gonna have to stay disciplined for NC State.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Because NC State, they playing some serious basketball right now, man. They just got that discipline, man, that focus. And you know, they're gonna make you work for every basket. And they're not gonna be shooting. They're not gonna be shooting like crazy. That's the thing with NC State, man. They take high percentage shots too. That's another thing with them. They're not gonna be just throwing shit, man. They're gonna take some high percentage shots. They're gonna take their time. Shots, definitely in that defense.
I haven't really watched them during
serious.
the tournament, except for in the beginning part when the big man was going off. I forgot what game that was that I watched in the beginning. that was probably in the before the 16. So that was in the beginning of the tournament. You know what I mean? So but other than that, I didn't watch NC State play, but I know the big man's like they got the big man as a focal point, like based on his size and stuff like that.
He passes well too, Neil. He passes well.
So I'm not saying he's not a good ball player. He's probably
he's
a good ball player.
He's a great ball player, but people just see his size and they're like, but he's a great passer. He can pass he can pass the ball really well, man.
Call it real. I'll be real with it. Like they call him like that I've heard, other shows, not call him, but they call him that themselves, but saying that people call him, he's the fat kid that could play basketball.
Yeah, he's that he's that guy that
But I know those
he may not get drafted. He may go undrafted. And he's just that guy that just has that magic in the
he had a good college career.
Cause let me tell you something. The dude from what's that team that won it? It was Villanova. The year Villanova won it, because Villanova had a nice little run, for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
When they was doing their thing, but the year that they won it, the dude that made the game-winning shot, he had a hell of a tournament. He was wild in that tournament, and he's not even in the league right now. I think he got drafted, but I think he's playing overseas right now. Okay. It just be like that, man. Some players are just have that mojo in the tournament, but that's their ceiling. You just know it. You know those guys that's gonna have that future in the league.
Right.
Look, Zach Edey, he might not be that guy either. I mean, he'll get drafted, but he may not be that guy. I mean, he seemed like a guy that you could beat up a little bit.
So maybe with development, he'll be that guy.
And he's gonna have to develop a shot. Those 20-footers or 30. He's gonna have to develop that, because he's not gonna always be able to get down low like that in the league. Going forward, like his future and everything like that. But it just be like that sometimes, man. These players are magical in the tournament, and come NBA draft, it's like, hey, where they at, man? You be like, damn, what happened to the dude? But
that's gonna be a good game. It's coming up soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great game.
That's going to be a great game. We're looking at, let me see what time it is now. We're looking like maybe a half hour out before that game starts. So that's going to be a good game. But then we have game number 2 tonight is at 9:30.
Yeah.
That's UConn.
Dogs are barking
against Bama. And I was just doing some little research on that game myself. And that's another game that might be a tight situation based on the way Bama likes to score the 3. I got some knowledge from Coach Stacks today telling me that Bama's one of the Bama coach, I think his name is Oates, right?
Yes.
Something like that, right?
Yes.
I think it's Oates. He runs a pro style offense, and he likes to just shoot the 3, not too many twos and things like that. He's not a 2-ball guy. He likes to shoot the 3. So, but Connecticut is a big team, and if they could defend on that perimeter, it's going to be a long night for Alabama, because Connecticut is a big team. And they have a big player down low. I forget the kid's name, who's pretty dangerous himself. And they got a guard that's pretty good too. I forget the guard's name. I was just looking this stuff up. I'm not too familiar with
Nate Oates.
The
guard. The guard from Alabama. I'm gonna tell you right now.
The guard from UConn.
Mark Spears. No, you got Mark Sears.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the guards, and you got Aaron Estrada.
Okay.
I think you're talking about Mark Sears. He's that guy. He's the guy that he gets busy. He's the general. He shoots that 3. Trust me, that guy shoots the 3 when they need those points. But he's the guy. So you're talking about Sears.
Okay.
They're gonna need a great game from Sears today, and they're gonna have to shoot the 3 well. You know you're going up against the machine. It's not too much to say about this game
So
in
that's
terms of what they
the
need to
guard.
do to win.
Sorry about that, people. I did have my homework. I just was looking for it. So the guard on UConn is Tristan Newton, who's shooting 41%, almost 42%, 15 points per game. Um, and then Cam Spencer is another one who's good for the three. He shoots
Yeah,
pretty good
and
from the free
they don't.
throw.
Yeah, you know what? Let me tell you something about this UConn team, man. They don't really have those star players. It's just that this team is just well built. Man, you know they play great defense, and they all can score.
Okay.
I mean, look at their leading score is 15 points per game. You know that should tell you, because the second leading score is 14, then 13, 12. So you got probably like 4 or 5 players that's averaging double digits in points. So that just tells you this is a team. This is
That's what he
not one
said.
of those.
That's what this is what Coach Stacks is saying right now. You see T saying that. He says UConn is a well-balanced breakfast. It's going to take a flawless game to beat them. And it's
Exactly,
true.
because they could eat you up from different angles, different spots, different players. There's not one person that you're gonna like zone in on, because there's other people that you got to pay attention to too. But if there's a team that can match that and that could really play to that level, it's Alabama.
Okay.
Alabama's that team, because they do the same thing. They shoot the rock well, they shoot the ball well, they spread it, they play that defense. Transition is great, and they don't get flustered. So they getting 11 points. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take Alabama plus 11, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. I think Bama will hang with
That's a
UConn.
big statement you're making.
Bama will hang with UConn.
Okay.
They will hang
Y'all
with
hear that?
UConn.
Like and
And
subscribe, man. Parlay with us. Y'all hear that? Stoney saying
plus 11. And let me tell you
Bama
something.
plus 11.
Damn, man, that's a lot of points, man, for a team to be laying in the Final Four. That's a lot of points, man. Let me tell you, man. I don't remember a time when a team was favored by that much. Maybe back in the days with Duke and UNLV, those teams, but even in the Final Four, man, they wasn't favored by like that, because it's tight. This is it. The Final Four teams, man, everybody's good.
He said Stoney hasn't learned his lesson yet.
You're right. You're right. And
remember that you said that you did say that about a show or two ago.
We're gonna see.
You said that about a show or two ago.
And look, let me tell you something, man. Terrence Whitaker.
Yeah, let me give him some.
Because that's how it's coming out. So I'm gonna call you how I see it on the screen. Listen, man, UConn's a great machine, but teams like that, they get bored, and I feel like it comes a time where there's gonna be. Last year they didn't have that game. Last year nobody snuck up on everybody. Nobody knew about UConn. I didn't know about UConn until they made it to the damn finals, man. Believe it or not, didn't even think about those guys. But this year, people know what that team's about. They know this is that team, and these are the teams. These are the teams that are up for these games. Teams like Alabama,
right?
Teams like NC State, Purdue. The last teams that are left. They're gonna be up for that.
You're right,
they're gonna
Stoney.
be up for this team.
They're not here for no reason. They in this Final Four because they up for it. You're right. Totally.
They up for it. But I'm just saying though, Connecticut, they ransacked the tournament last year. They beat everybody by. I think they crept up on everybody last year. I think last year they caught everybody by surprise. This year they didn't catch anybody by surprise, even though they still on that machine run. Mm-hmm. But this is where it tightens up right now, right here, because they know what they going up against right now. The Final Four last year, they didn't know what they was going up against. They didn't know what they was going up against last year. Those teams that made it to the Final Four. And San Diego State, man, they wasn't the team to play them. It should have been FAU. FAU would have gave Connecticut a run for their money more than San Diego State. But that's another story for another day.
Right.
This year, Bama's ready. Them Bama boys, they're gonna come out and play. And I'm calling it right now. They're gonna stay tight. They're gonna stay on these dudes' ass. they're gonna stay within that number, and you best believe Bama is not gonna go out like that. And I like they guard play. They guard play got heart. They got heart, man. These dudes, I was watching them, man. I ain't gonna lie, I bet against them on one of the games, but I watched them. That's the whole point. I'm like, yo, this team, they're about they business, man, and they're gonna play, man. They're not gonna come here and just play with these dudes, man. I think they're gonna catch UConn. They're gonna be down UConn. UConn's gonna have to work in this game. They're gonna have to work. Trust me. This ain't no, they just punching in at work and they're gonna punch out. They're gonna stay a little bit later at work. They're gonna call like, yo, we working some overtime tonight because this team is gonna give us some work.
Right. Well, yeah, man. I'm glad for. Thanks for Coach Stacks chiming in. I'm gonna give him some cheers for that.
Yeah, it's your government, but it's showing on the comments. You know what I mean? What am I supposed to call you?
Yes. He just realized it. He didn't even realize his whole government was on.
Yeah, his government's on there. Like, so people watching, they looking at the same thing too. So how am I gonna call?
But you know
a
what?
name that's not on there?
Stacks, be like, who he talking to? T. What you got to do? You can go right on your same YouTube or however you're watching me. You could go on and change your name to like a stage name. You just got to go on there and change it. You just
put himself.
You got to change it. You got to get You got to get a little innovative with technology. Go in there and change that name real quick. You see everything I remember.
Look at the damn chat because they're gonna be like, who he's talking to?
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, I mean that's why I keep letting people know that is Coach Hustle Stacks that's on here. As
you gotta say AKA Hustle Stacks. They're gonna be like, well,
get rid of that Terrence Whitaker, man. We don't need to know all of that. But with that being said, man,
man, you know what? I ain't on that main lunch, man. Like not yet.
Yeah, man. Well, look at that. I made one of them another drinks there, T. I did a little something different this time. And so I'm almost done with it.
You on that main lunch right now. You gotta be. Yeah. How you know, man? Come on. What you saying? I behave different when I'm on the main lunch? I'm out here giving stats, man. I'm about to give people some money.
Yeah, we already gave them the stats here already. We're gonna run that back down before the end of the show. Before the end of the show, we're gonna give you guys, hey, please, people, if you're on here and you're watching, man, thanks for chiming in and kicking it with us here on Parlay with us. I would appreciate if you please hit the like and subscribe button. It goes a long way, man. Hit that.
We may do a post show. We may do a post.
Share it to your peoples, man. Share it to everybody. If you're in here watching us talk about sports and talk about betting on games, I'm sure you got friends and peoples or family members that like sports and bet on games and stuff like that. So share this. We try to every week, every time we do a show, we talk about everything sports, and then we have our Thursday night thing on Real Talk. But on our sports podcast, we try to give y'all that gem about we try to give y'all the gems on the best bets and things like that on topics that we're talking about. Right now we're on the Final Four. So Stoney's giving you his best bets on the Final Four. Sean Doe couldn't make it in today, but I'm sure if Sean was here, Sean would have gave you his parlays, as far as player parlays or whatever they might be on the Final Four. He probably would have gave you that, whatever they had out there on FanDuel and DraftKings. But, those guys had obligations that they had to attend to, and we're all human and it's whatever. But we're still here. Parlay with us team, me and Stony Crook, Mr. Beans here. We're still giving it to you guys live, and we're still giving y'all that content. So thanks for coming through. Thanks for being with us, man, with the short staff, but we're bringing it. And before we move on any little further with the show, like I said, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. I can't say too much. Share it. And next thing is, before we end, Stoney will go over the best bets again. If you've missed it, we will go over the best bets again before the end of the show. We're about to wrap up and shortly, But before we wrap up, I had a question for Stony, and I have a question for Coach Stacks, who's on this live right now. He's chiming in, commenting. What do y'all think about last night game? The ending of last night game with Caitlin Clark, Iowa versus I forget again.
Connecticut. It was UConn.
UConn. That's
It was
right.
a bad.
Iowa versus UConn. How could I
Yep.
forget? My fault.
No
How
problem.
what do you feel? I was
Bad
watching
call.
the game. I'm gonna just tell
Bad
y'all
call.
my thing. I was watching the game in the beginning. It was looking like a good game. There was probably the first time I really watched Caitlin Clark play. She is a good ball player. She's a good ball player. That girl's good. She is good. But there's other good ball players out there too. So I think for someone, the light is being extra shined on her, but it's not neither here nor there. But what do y'all think happened at the end of the game? Even though I think the masses in the league, as far as NCAA, want to see this girl back in the championship game. But what happened at the end of the game? Because you know what? I'm gonna tell the truth. I fell asleep.
It was a bad call. It was a bad call. They called the offensive foul because the girl made a pick. She made a pick. You know, the girl was running a play. She made a pick, and they called offensive foul. Horrible call. Horrible call. I don't. How many times those plays happen and they don't call it? So many times. As a ref, you got to let these girls play. The magnitude of the game. It's like you got two great teams. You got a historical UConn team. People forget UConn won like 100 games in a row. Like this team is historical. They set records that I don't think is gonna ever be broken. Remember, UConn was running shit. So first of all, on that level, they should have gave that respect to UConn and that team and that staff and how hard that team was playing in that game. And then on the other hand, yeah, you know, Iowa, they got the new darling, Caitlin Clark, I think. I don't hope I'm saying it right, but Caitlin
No, you're
Clark,
saying it right.
great player. Don't get me wrong, great player. I understand everything, but you have to let them play the game, especially at that point in the game. You call that maybe in the first, second quarter, third quarter, you call that play. But at that time, with that much time left and everything that's on the line, you do not make that call because it was not that obvious of a play. How are you gonna call an offensive foul? Like, you just don't call that play. You don't call it. If it was the opposing team driving to the basket, foul, okay, we get it. It's aggressive. It's you know, we're expecting it. But offensive foul call on that play against that team, that was a horrible call at a horrible time, at the worst time they could have made that call, and that decided the game. How are you gonna end the game on that? It's horrible. That really
That's a
put a
good take.
stain on
I'm
that
glad
game.
you said it.
And it was a bad call.
I hope
it was a bad call at a bad time.
I hope people are watching, and I'm hope the people, because we do give y'all good content when we talk about these things that go down in sports, and you know, and this is women's basketball, women's college basketball.
Let them
When
play
we
it
give
out.
our thoughts and our feelings on it, it is serious, and we take it into you know, we take it serious. And you're right. I didn't even have to watch the
Let them play it
play
out.
to know that, based on what I was told by Coach Stacks, Hustle Stacks. Stacks told me, he said, yo, listen, if you would have saw the last 2 minutes of the game, he said it just looked like they were stealing the game away from UConn.
It wasn't that obvious of a call. It wasn't so obvious. It was like, it was one of those type of calls that if you're a ref, you're looking for something petty to call. That's how petty the play was. It wasn't that obvious. It wasn't like the girl elbowed her, because a lot of these pick plays, when they call it, it's an obvious looking call, man, because the girl, I mean, you know, the player either just jumped in front, pushed, whatever the case may be, but they got a little physical on it. This was more of a, yeah, she made the pick, but it wasn't that obvious. It was like kind of a petty pick. It wasn't that obvious where the ref had to call it. The ref should have kept it, because you know what it is, man. Like, let me just say a small example. And it's this quick example. When Jordan made the last shot against Byron Russell, everybody say he pushed him off. Why didn't the ref call it? Well, because of the person that was playing the magnitude of the game and the time of the game. They didn't call it. That could have been. They could have called that offensive foul. He pushed them.
There
You
goes
see it,
there go Coach
obviously.
Stacks right now. What up, Stacks? What up,
Yeah,
Husky?
man.
What's up, Stack?
I'm on the road. Stoney gonna have the half a mass at the Tobin with that Alabama pick.
Yo, listen. Yeah, but they're gonna make money. Half of mass is gonna make money.
I think UConn got them by 20, bro. I think UConn.
I don't think so.
Okay, they've been 30 pieces. They've been 30 piecing everybody, so I'm gonna go down by 20.
Nah, I think this is where that buck stops. I think that they're gonna have to play today.
This is why I like you guys on this show. This is why I love you guys on this show.
They're gonna have to play today.
We all have a different perspective.
Stoney, they've been playing the whole tournament. What you mean they're gonna have to play today?
I know they've been playing the tournament. Stacks. I know they. I'm just saying they're gonna have to earn it today. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They've been playing the whole tournament, no doubt. But I don't think that they've been playing teams that was pushing them like Alabama's gonna push them.
Stoney, before you say that, go look at their regular season schedule and say that. Because they played, they're out of conference. Remember, they played Kansas in Kansas when Kansas was fully loaded. They beat a North Carolina team. They beat Marquette twice by 25. All right, so they beat out of the top 10 teams. They beat the top 5 by an average of 25. That's not even including the tournament. That's during the regular season. Is what I'm saying is UConn is battle tested. They battle tested. Not only are they battle tested, they are well coached. That's what
I agree.
And their guard play is crazy. Now remember now, we always talk about this with the Celtics. You live by the 3, you die by the 3. And you always say at some point UConn got to come down to earth. And at some point, them 3 balls ain't going to fall. You're going to have to be able to do something else, man.
That's kind of like I like that. I like that scenario.
No,
and
I understand that, but I think Bama understands that. I think this is if there's any team that's gonna give these guys a run. I thought it was Illinois, but Illinois couldn't even buy a basket when they counted.
Why is that? Why couldn't they buy a basket though?
Well, check this out. What did they do in the first half?
No, why couldn't they? Why
they just couldn't make. They couldn't make. They had looks. They couldn't make it
because them damn Huskies was on their ass. That's why they couldn't buy a basket. Let's call it straight. Stoney, you gonna tell me UConn didn't play grade D that defense?
Not in the first half. Not in the first half.
Stoney, they do that every time in the first half. Every time in the first half, they fill you out. Then in the second half, the fight's over. You know what I'm saying? The fight's over. Look at the tournament. They did it last year. Now they're doing it again this year.
So look, it was a 5-point game at the half against Illinois. The second half, they outscored Illinois 49-29.
Yeah, but they went second half. But make sure you throw that 30-0 run in there. 30-0.
So you think Bama is gonna let that happen?
Hey Stoney, somebody once told me, you ain't got to be scared to get a black eye, B. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be scared to get punched in your face.
We're gonna see because the game
gonna be a good one.
The game has to be played.
I mean, how long we been saying that against the opponents of UConn? I thought they would have.
Oh, I mean, the last 10 games.
You know what I'm saying?
The last 10 games.
I mean, the
last 10 games. They 10-0 and they the last 10 games they've been beating their opponents by double digits.
Illinois got 2 NBA draft picks from that team, and they lost by 30.
Yeah, something went wrong there.
No, ain't nothing went wrong. It's called that.
I just don't think Bama is gonna like have that same problem that Illinois had.
But
I
don't say
really
that
feel
Illinois
that way.
has. Say the same problem that everybody has had. There you go. Not just
we're gonna see that
everybody.
Let me tell you, that's why we got to play the game.
I know you got a short time, but before you go, what do you think about the Purdue Wolfpack game? How you see that working out?
I like that. I like that game. Like I said, if I was a coach against Edie, it would just be him one-on-one. You got to stop their role players, man. That's what's killing everybody. Everybody's trying to double and triple team Edie, and their role players are great. They play great off of him. So you have to stay home on them guys. And don't forget, NC State has 3 big guys that are real physical. Besides Burns, they had the Diarra kid, and they got the Middlebrooks kid, who's real physical, and they both 6'10", 6'11", and 6'9". So I would switch it up on him. I would give him different looks, and I would stay home. And on offense, I would make him move laterally. He has to. He's good when you're going right at him, but he's gonna make him move side to side.
Yes,
That's what you
yes,
got to do.
I
You got to
agree.
make him move side to side and make him defend. He hasn't defended nobody really.
Exactly. You got to wear him down a little bit. Exactly. You got
Yeah.
to wear him down, man. Got that
That's a
that
nice. That's a nice.
that
That's a
guy
nice.
that big. You have to wear him
A nice
down,
take
move
on that.
laterally, and don't let him settle in, because that's what happened in the last matchup that Purdue had. Who they beat the last game? They
Tennessee.
was
I mean, Tennessee played them tough. Tennessee did not have the size. That was all Tennessee. And that
and they
remember,
missed a lot of free throws
yeah,
too. Tennessee.
nah. And what it was too, Stoney. They had one guy. Only Dalton Connect played well. Them other guys didn't come. I ain't gonna say they didn't come to play, but they just didn't play well. So that's what that. If Tennessee has one more guy to help Connect, they win that game. Think about that, because it was close
Yes.
game the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But they was
Quebec is
up.
nice.
Tennessee was up. They was
Yeah.
up for a little bit, man.
Tennessee was up,
They had
and then
control of that game.
Tennessee was up, and then they started doubling, tripling teaming Edie, and then that's when the role players got involved. Once some role players get involved with Purdue, they are hard to beat, man. They are hard to beat.
Nice take, man. Thanks for chiming in and giving us that take. Will be one last thing before you go. Two last things. Yo, I love that sunshine out there. I don't even got to see outside, but I love it. I
T-shirt.
can see that sun. You're shining right now. That sun is bright. Man, we dealing with
The skies look clear.
Yo,
Yeah,
we're dealing with rain for the
Clear
past
blue
4
skies.
days.
Man.
4
I see a
days.
couple of clouds up there, but
So it's good to
You
see
see
that
blue.
sunshine, man.
But
But
that I chimed in because I was so disappointed in that UConn Iowa game. I mean,
that's the
we all
last
know.
question I have for you. That was the last question
but
I had
Stacks,
for you.
how they
What's your
gonna call
take on
that play at that point?
But
How they
it
gonna
is,
call that
but
play?
it is, Stoney. We all know why they called it. That's not.
It's like, come on, man. You call. I understand a defensive foul all day. I understand that you have to call that, but an offensive foul at that point of the game, and then the way it wasn't even that obvious. The girl showed it.
The way it was, and I mean,
Let
first
them
of all,
play it out.
shout out to Gino Omriam, because he put in a great game playing for Caitlin Clark. He really slowed her down. Like that was, she had Stoney and Bean. She had 21, but that was a real quiet 21.
It was a quiet 21. She had to work.
Can I say this? I didn't watch the game. Did she work hard for that 21?
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did. And then shout out to that other. I'll tell you, that other girl. I can't remember the flirty name, but she came to play. That other girl from Iowa, she came to play. She was the difference maker in that game. But like I said, there's levels for people that don't know. There's levels to screens. There's flare screens, there's brush screens, and then there's rub screens. That screen that she said is a rub screen. That screen is just for you just a little nudge on the opposing guy person. That's all it's supposed to be. And then she did it right. Yeah, she leaned in a little bit, and the girl sold it. She flopped. She flopped.
Yeah, she flopped.
She flopped. But if you look at that play, that didn't even impede that girl's progress, because the other girl in front of her was going to cut Caitlin Clark off. Not Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers off anyway. So for that referee to call that, he ought to be ashamed of himself.
He had to be ashamed of
ought to
himself.
be
Like
himself.
he destroyed a classic game. He destroyed it, because you got to let those girls play it out, especially at that point, man, because it's not a call you need to make. You don't need to make. How you going to end the game on? Look how the game ended. He made the call, and it's like it ended horribly, the game.
Remember, Iowa got the ball and they fouled Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin Clark missed that second free throw, but UConn could have got the Iowa got the rebound, but UConn was just deflated after that call.
Yeah, they was. They were there. You could tell they didn't box anybody out, and they
were just
they got caught off guard. You could see it. You could see it.
But they wasn't even worried about it. They had conceded the game at that point. They was those free throws didn't even matter. They was just, and then shout out to Gino. People don't realize 3 of his starters are out with injuries, didn't even play. He has 5 people that contribute to that team that's not even playing. He's played 6 to 7 girls the whole tournament and made it to the Final Four. Yo, that's a great coach, man. That's a great coach. That's a great coach, man. Those
That's
girls
good. I'm glad you brought that attention. I'm glad you brought that.
But Stacks, right? Am I right? UConn won. They got the record. They won like 100 games in a row, or something like that. It was up there.
Ain't nobody dealing with that. I think it was a wild being. Stoney, that they didn't lose a game for, I think, for 4 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
for 4 years. Yeah, they had a hell of a run. Look it up.
Yeah.
I paid attention to that. I paid attention to that. Yo, UConn went like 4 or 5 years without losing. They just won
4
every. I'm
years,
telling you, they
dog.
won like
Not only
100
that,
games in a row.
not only 4 years, there's 4 and won the national title all 4.
All
That's
4
crazy.
years. That's what I'm saying. It's like they didn't lose.
So you mean to tell me they're four-peated right now?
No, not right now.
Not right now. In the
They haven't
past.
won in a while.
In the past.
They're always in the mix, but they haven't won a championship in a while.
It's been a while, but they was running shit for a little bit.
They was running joint for a while.
No,
they had it on lock.
Stoney, they was running shit for a long time.
Oh, that's right,
long
because it was LSU last year.
Yeah, LSU.
Yeah, but
last year.
LSU, they knew, they brand new. If anything, Tennessee's ahead of LSU. Tennessee was running shit. UConn.
Tennessee, UConn, and I think it was Louisiana Tech during that time. Yeah.
But UConn by far was
Hey,
eating
listen,
everybody up, man.
You know, I'm glad we talked about this, you know, but my thing is Caitlin Clark is, you know, I think they're using her to prop the game. And a good thing for women's basketball because it's the attention. Look, we're talking about it. We're watching it. And not saying that we wouldn't watch it because we watch all sports. But now it's becoming something of intrigue. It's on demand. It's
just for the shit because she's
you know
leaving.
what I mean? It's what you call it's what must watch TV.
What? They're gonna get a lot of ratings tomorrow. They're gonna get a lot of ratings tomorrow.
And with that being said, there's gonna be other. I think they said there's other female ball players who's supposed to be take right behind that mantle of Caitlin Clark. So Stacks probably got, you know, whatever. But you know, I'm glad to see that, you know, it brought some energy to women's basketball, right? That's a good thing. But for one thing, they shouldn't have used her, you know, to try to, you know, advance her stardom to muddy up a good game. That's it. That's how I think about it. So that's my last thought on that Iowa Connecticut.
Yeah, they kind of destroyed. But you know what? They're gonna get a lot of ratings tomorrow. South Carolina should smash them tomorrow, and they're gonna be amped. You know, they're gonna come to play, but that's the consensus. South Carolina.
This Dawn Staley team, you know,
they're not playing.
This Dawn Staley team is no joke. Stacks, what do you think about real quick before you go? And I know you got to go because we're about to go. We're about to wrap this up right now. What do you think about Dawn Staley's team, South Carolina, the girls basketball team?
Let me tell you something. And with that stuff that I just said about the call and everything, I'm not taking nothing away from Caitlin Clark. She's different. I'm not. She's special. I give her all that. I'm not no Caitlin Clark hater by any means.
Me either.
Yeah, me neither.
The girl's a great ball player.
Me neither.
Yeah, she's a great ball player, but I don't see her beating South Carolina. I just don't know how you stop that juggernaut. That's juggernaut.
I don't think so either. Yeah, that's the next UConn. That's the next UConn. They on the road too.
It's the size that they have.
Size.
It's the size.
They got some big girls over there.
6'8", 6'7" for a girl. Oof.
God damn. Yeah. Exactly.
Yo, that's and Cabal,
look,
that's a terrible.
Yo,
that's
Zach,
a terrible freaking.
I think my
combo.
oldest. I think she's gonna be one of those, man. She's gonna be like 6'7".
Oh, your daughter, yo, listen,
Sienna, but I told her not to be Big Bird though.
Yo, Stacks, man, you should have stayed in the game and coach girls, man. Sienna's about to be out there playing ball.
I got the drill.
God willing, man. God willing, now.
I got the drill list for Stoney.
Keep pushing it, bro. Not pushing it, but keep guiding them to it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna play.
Once they love it, they love it. You know how we did it. Once we loved it, we loved playing ball. It didn't nothing couldn't take away. Guess what I did? I bought a new basketball. I ain't bought a basketball in over 10 years. So y'all know what that means.
Man. We're gonna go play. Lace them up.
You know what that means, right?
Yo, dust off them high tops, man.
You know what that means. I just went and bought a nice official ball.
if I lace him up, the hospital gurney coming right behind me.
Are you
No,
serious?
no.
Come on,
We
Stacks.
just
A
gonna
quick
shoot around.
21.
We shooting around.
Nah,
Yo,
we shooting
Stacks,
around. I ain't
listen,
playing.
Stacks used to get busy. Stacks
What?
had a nice jumper, man.
He can still play.
Stacks
Don't let him
I know
fool
he
you.
could play. But if we play on
I
some
can't
Don't
friendly
let him
believe
shit,
fool you. He can still run. I can't even
Stacks-
probably run a half court. Listen, I
Stacks
can't
had a
probably
nice
even run a
jumper,
half court.
man.
I can't even run a half court game. I bet you Stacks could probably still run a half court a
Stacks,
game. I
With a
bet you
sub,
can.
with a sub, with a sub, with a sub.
Yo,
Hey, when
I'm taking
I used to tell
multiple
people in the
breathers,
league,
yo.
I give you a good hard 5 minutes.
Me too. Me too. They be like, yo, go defend that guy real quick. Stop him. 5
Yo,
minutes.
man,
That's it.
that's
Go.
why basketball is such a great sport, though. I tell everybody all the time, basketball is not a sport where you just stop playing then jump back in.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people. That's how that injury happens. Like the
Yeah.
Achilles and stuff. Like you got to be.
Yeah.
Basketball is a sport where you just don't stop playing. You got to be conditioned to play.
You got to
man.
be
Yeah,
conditioned.
you gotta be conditioned to play. You gotta get back. You gotta get back on D,
So
man.
my
It's
thing
back
is, I
and
bought the
forth.
ball. I'm trying to cut some weight, so I bought the ball just to get on the blacktop again and just start chasing that ball and shooting the hoops again and trying to get a shot back. That's it. I didn't buy it to go play against nobody
Yeah,
or play with
we're gonna
anybody.
play, man.
It's
We're
just
gonna
to
play.
shoot hoops, shoot some hoops and chase that ball up and down that court and try to burn some weight. That's it. And get my shot back.
Y'all have at it. I got a bike for that.
Yo, I'll be on the treadmill and all that, man. But I want to do something. I get bored, so I want to do something different, man. Just shooting outside.
You got the Peloton. You said right?
Yeah, I got the Peloton.
Yeah. We got to get on there, man.
Yeah, we gotta get on there, man. I'll be on there in the morning. I'm gonna text you when I'll get on early though.
Yeah. What time?
Sometimes I do a 6 o'clock or a 7 o'clock.
Nah, I have to be a little earlier than that, but I'm down with that.
Yeah,
bro.
see, you gotta be
Early,
on the
the
weekends.
better.
I
When you
can
get
do
it in
very early.
early's the best time, man. AM
that's
is the best time to get it in.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't.
it's the best.
I don't know how
time.
people want to exercise in the afternoon at 8 and 7 o'clock at
Nah,
night.
man, you want to get it in the morning, man.
You gotta burn that in the morning.
Right, because you're already burning. So whatever you do the rest of the day, you're already burning. You got
You're
it
already
in.
burning. So I've been trying to get yo Stacks. Is not. I just bought the ball, bro, because you know what? I used to go to the Lifetime Fitness. I used to go to Lifetime Fitness. That's like a country club of gyms, right? So I used to go to Lifetime Fitness out here. And bro, they had the suite. I met Brian Scalabrine on that court. And I used to just go there, the courts in the morning. I'm in the gym at 8 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's there. And I just shoot ball all day. Just shoot ball for an hour, just chasing the ball. Before you know it, I'm pouring sweat. Scalabrine used to be right next door, next to me in the next hoop or the next section. And he's just doing the same thing, just shooting his jumpers. Dude's good. Still shooting. I seen this dude just sit there and just hit Jay.
And that way to say that, Stats, because people think that the average NBA player off the bench that don't play will give you 40 in a closed set. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand. You think them dude, man, he's terrible. He don't never play. Playing one-on-one outside.
Playing one-on-one. See, yo, listen. Yo, Tony, I was shooting hoops for weeks in Lifetime, and there's always this redhead guy in the next thing. You know how they got the net that separated Stacks?
Yeah.
Those big court. So I'm seeing a dude shooting. I'm like, I never paid attention to him like that. So one day, my ball rolled over there, and he got it, and he threw it back to me. And I looked. I was like, Scout? He was like, yeah, what's up, man? I was like, yo, what up, man? You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, Scalabrine over here this whole time.
The
whole time this dude was shooting hoops. Every morning when I used to be in that gym, this dude used to be at the same time shooting hoops over there. I just never walked over there and looked over there to like even bother him. You know what I mean?
Scout was on that team when we won the chip, I think.
Yeah, he was on 08. Yeah.
Oh wait,
Scout made some key baskets, man. Shout out to Scout, man. And he was a great teammate too. That's another thing, man.
That's why they like him here.
He does a great job too, Stoney, with the Celtics network.
Yeah, that's why they like. He does a great job with the Celtics. You know, he really do. So that was my thing. I got to, so that's why I said, you know what, but it kind of ran my, why I got a text from Lifetime like, oh, come back to Lifetime. I was like, nah, I ain't paying that money, but I'm gonna get me a basketball and start shooting hoops again. So that's why I went and brought me a ball.
Yo, Beans, you got the yard though. Put your little goal outside.
I want to put a basketball court in my backyard.
Yeah,
Half
but you
court.
got enough room to get for right now. Just get the
Yeah.
little portable joint.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? My front with that freaking traffic, I don't want my daughter chasing the ball into the damn freaking street unless I got some neighbors who put up this big old net in their front yard. If they do anything sports in the front, and anytime a ball roll, it hits this big net. Don't even go out to the street. But that's a big investment though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like this big net that you can roll out.
You could probably put the little white picket fence right there though. PVC joint.
Yeah. I want to do, but you know what? I thought about it already, man. I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna get a quote, man. My man who used to live in Stoughton, he had a big yard too. He had put in a half court for about rubber. He put in a half court for about 6, 7 stacks.
Yeah. You can get a nice. I had a half court at the old crib stack Beans. You remember?
Yep.
I had a little half court back there. That's how I got my son right for his little endeavors.
Right.
But yeah, he that
You
half
put it
court,
in
that
yourself though.
Yeah.
I know you did.
I put it in myself though. Yeah, you're right. It was less than 6 stacks. I tell you
That's
that.
what I'm saying. I can't put that. I ain't no excavator, and I don't do the work you do. If I can, level it. I be out there right now, like I'm leveling out my land for my basketball court, but that's not even my, But I'm gonna try to look into it though. To tell you the truth, I'm gonna invest in it because it's something for the kids to do when they come through. They could shoot hoops in the yard, and I can shoot hoops. Don't have to go nowhere. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, that's get back. I'm just trying to get back into that basketball.
What I'm building a lot of that's in right now. A lot of pickleball courts.
Yeah.
That's
pickleball.
That's the
people.
Right now.
Listen, out here, they getting into beefs in certain neighborhoods for this pickleball thing because it's causing problems.
Yeah, that's the big thing right now is the pickleball.
Yeah, they chasing people off tennis courts and taking over tennis courts and all kind of stuff. Yeah,
because people ain't really. I mean, we don't got too much tennis activity going on, but pickleball is definitely in.
Pickleball
is in right now.
Yeah, there's a town. T, you know about Brookline? Brookline right now. They had drama out in Brookline for this pickleball thing. Neighborhood drama.
Yeah, people don't realize how Brookline. Y'all know it was always low key. Even though for it to be right next to Roxbury like that, it was always low key.
It was always low key.
Hey, it's funny that the drama never made it to Brookline. None of that drama.
Because you can't bring no drama to Brookline.
But think of it, for how close it was to the hood, though, Beans.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, it was close to Mission.
Yeah, real
it's
close.
The next town over from Roxbury.
Yeah. Right.
Next town
going
over
west.
from Roxbury.
Going west. Yeah.
And on the other side, you got Mission, so it's sandwiched in between. But you never heard about no drama in Brookline.
Never.
No, I think Robert Kraft got a house out. I think he lives out there in Brookline.
No, Chestnut Hill. That's Newton.
Oh, he's in Chestnut Hill?
Chestnut Hill, Newton. That's adjacent to Brookline.
Yeah, next side. That's the opposite way. Yep.
That's the opposite way. That's going more west. So that's after Brookline, then Chestnut Hill, Newton.
It's some nice houses over there. Let me tell you. Some nice houses, man.
Brookline.
Chestnut Hill is nice, man.
There's some nice houses over there. I had to go through there to take a shortcut.
I work up that way. I got one of my facilities is up there. I work up in Chestnut Hill. That's a nice neighborhood, man.
Brookline has always been nice though. It's never been bad.
Oh, Brookline
never been bad.
Yeah, never. Remember we used to go to Brookline High and hang out sometimes. Remember, T?
Yep. Play ball up there. Yep.
Play ball up there back in the days. We play ball everywhere, man.
Everywhere.
There's anywhere to chase the competition we was going.
Yeah, they running over here. Let's go.
Yep. We used to go downtown Chinatown and run. Remember, run down Chinatown.
Yo, that was the shadiest courts in America too, by the way. That was
we used to go run down Chinatown.
Yeah, dog. Them courts was mad shady down there, man.
Shady. Yeah, we used to run Chinatown. We ran everywhere, man. We went everywhere to run ball.
Chinatown. I would have never remembered that one right there.
Yeah, remember that the one off the highway before the one right there by you know the one you used to see off the highway, that little court at the bottom. We went there a couple
Yeah.
times. Used to just get off at South Station and walk down the street. Or
Yep.
you get off at Chinatown and walk down the street from Chinatown, and the court's right there.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
that's
right.
crazy.
We only ran
how-
it twice, those
they-
stacks. So we only ran that like twice.
They cleaned Chinatown all the way up, huh?
Yeah, Chinatown's cleaned up, man.
Oh yeah. Chinatown's clean.
Clean. It's like a tourist attraction now.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
Yo, but you got to be from Boston to realize how bad Chinatown was.
The combat zone.
That was the combat zone. And if anybody don't know what the combat zone out there who's watching live, that's Boston's version of the red light district.
Yeah,
So,
it was.
Combat
that was
zone.
Boston's version of the red light district was the combat zone, which was adjacent to Chinatown,
Yeah, that
Boston, downtown.
That shit was
Let me tell
crazy. As soon as you
That
got
shit
on the
was
train,
crazy.
Yo, right there. Remember Teddy Bears right around Teddy
yo,
Bears?
shout,
They used to be
Damn.
yo, some, yo, that
Crooks.
was the area. That's
Yo,
where they
Smack,
used to be.
Cook
at.
brought up
yo, you
Teddy
gotta-
Bears.
you gotta be a Boston OG if you know about Teddy Bears.
If
Like,
you
come
know
on.
about Teddy Bears,
Yo,
you
Teddy
from
Bears,
Boston.
man, let me tell you, man.
Yeah.
Them Asians, they used to be in there deep, man, playing that Street Fighter shit, man.
Oh,
They used to
yeah.
be, they was crazy with that shit.
Yeah, you
That
go
was the
down
last
there,
arcade.
go down there half stepping in Chinatown if you want. Think you gonna debo
Crooks.
them Chinese dudes.
Oh no,
Crazy.
nobody was messing with them. Nobody was. Yo,
Yo, but it was a lot going on out down there, man. That
yeah,
was
we
the
didn't even know that.
that
Yo,
was the
Crooks,
spot.
that was Crooks. You know that was like the last arcade.
Yeah.
Teddy Bears was the last arcade in Boston, like the last of it. After
Dang.
they closed that, you ain't seen no arcade. Remember,
It was a
arcade,
wrap,
like,
yeah.
it was an arcade.
It was a rap, but them Asians had it on lock. And people,
No, and
yo,
y'all right.
that
Ain't nobody
Street
never
Fighter,
start no smack down there.
yo, the Street Fighter was the premier game to play. When you walked in there, that shit, you had to hit that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, the way them Asians were getting busy on that shit, they had that shit on lock, man.
Yeah,
it
you
was
had to-
money,
it was a
it was
line. You
betting
had to
money
wait-
and all kinds of shit.
You had to wait in line if you had to. They remember that.
Yeah, you had to wait in line to play that shit. You
Yeah,
couldn't
you had
just
to wait
get
in
on
line,
that
like-
shit. And then,
and you had to be nice. You
Yep.
had to be nice.
Yep. But no, Stacks, you're right. Before you go, we're about to drop it. We're about to end it. Yo, you're totally right. Yo, to be from Boston is the funniest thing. They wild out in all kind of corners of Boston. But you would not go down Chinatown wilding out. I don't care who you were. Who you was. You went down Chinatown. You kept your beef towards yourselves. You didn't beef with the people from Chinatown. You didn't mess with them Asians at all. You see how they be talking about Asian hate and all that? I don't know about all that shit.
Me
Now
neither.
here in
I'm with you,
Boston,
Beans.
they
I don't
didn't
know
do
about all
that
that
shit out here.
either. Me too.
Huh?
I don't know about all. I'm with you. I don't know about all that.
I don't know about all that. I know downtown. I know Chinatown, Boston down here. You didn't mess around with them dudes down there. You them triads where I had your ass.
oh hell yeah, hell yeah.
I'm gonna be 100. Them triads would have had your ass. You fuck with them. I'm just letting you know. So to end it on that note, you know what I mean? Boston is a multi. People don't know. They look at our town and they think, you know, they just think Shamrock. I'm gonna just put it 100. They just think it's all Shamrock. It ain't all Shamrock, man. This is
At
a
all. At all,
multicultural
dog.
town, bro. It's a multicultural town. The city, but we know it as a town. This is a multicultural town. You don't play around in Boston. They got everything going on in here. All kinds of diversity. Trust me.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So with that being said, man, yo, Stoney, before you go, give the people out there that
Yes.
best bets for these final 4 games, and we're gonna end it with the best bets. Go ahead, Stoney. I'm gonna leave it up to you.
Yes. So, boom. NC State plus 9.5. Sprinkle on the money line. And I'm taking Alabama plus 11 against UConn. I think they're gonna be tight. It's gonna be a close game, but definitely by far my favorite bet, by far my best bet is definitely NC State plus 9.5. That's my best bet tonight for this Final Four is NC State plus 9.5. I also like them on the money line sprinkle. You know, put a little bit on that money line just to, you know, if they win, you could make money off of that.
You can make it spicy.
Right, you can make it spicy, and you know, my other bet is gonna definitely be Alabama to hang with UConn. So those are my three. Those are my three bets. My best bet: NC State plus 9.5 and money line, and UConn, Alabama plus 11 against UConn. Alabama plus 11. Those are my bets for tonight. Let's go.
Stacks, I know what you're gonna say, but you could go ahead and drop it before we end it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in NC. I'm gonna go Purdue. I think Purdue's gonna be NC State, and I think it's gonna be a business. That this Final Four is in the same scenario. Everybody wants to see big man versus big man, with UConn's big man and then Purdue's big man in the finals. That's gonna make for a good game. And shout out to college basketball, man. I mean, they really did a great job this year with the tournament. I think with a lot of great games, man. And March Madness was real. It was good this year. It was really good this year.
I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad. I know this is your time. I know you love the basketball. I know you talked about March Madness. You talked about college ball. I know you was going to be busy today, and this is how much Stacks love ball. Stacks is busy doing something, doing his personal thing, on his personal life, and he still chimed in so he could talk about basketball. That's how much we love the sports. So with that being said, I appreciate that. My best bet, I think I will go with Crooks to say that NC State will hang with Purdue. I think they will hang with them, so they might cover that 9 to 9.5. So I will take that with that one. But on the note for the other game, the Alabama UConn, my feeling is I'm not going to the window on it, but I just think UConn will ultimately just win. I just think that they will win the game. And the championship will be Purdue UConn. I just think so. But if NC State can, they, like you said, Stoney said it earlier to end it. I'm gonna say it again before. I know I said it, but to end it, Stoney says the Cinderella team time clock, which is 12, hasn't come yet. So who's to say that maybe NC State can be that Cinderella team who makes it to the championship round, as far as the championship game. So let's see. Shout out to all the teams that made it to the Final Four. Like Stack said, it was a great series, a great March Madness. It was very intriguing. We saw a lot of different teams, a lot of good players out there. This is the most I paid attention to a March Madness in a long time. So thank you, Stacks and Crooks and Shondo, for keeping me entertained and intrigued about college basketball, because I was always on the pro thing. So with that being said, Stoney, Stacks, I'll see you guys tomorrow for Parlay with us, and I'll you guys have a good night.
Yes. We out. We out.
God, to make moves, doobie don't snooze on your back, cause they hate you, dog break through, sun get through, but I'm